I got involved in this project right at the very beginning. We had an amazing client who has 2 children and had decided to move closer to the children's schools. She also wanted something that felt newer. She was living in an old heritage home. We looked and looked and finally found this bungalow, sat down and really started designing the interiors and the aesthetic for the exteriors, and then assembled our team. She really was looking for a more modern appeal without being cold. She really loves color, but didn't want too much color this time. So we added it in lots of accents and hits here and there in each room, but we did a lot of white walls, which was quite new for her. When you enter the home, it has an amazing study at the front, which is your first impact point. I begged and begged and begged my client to be able to give me an arch, and I was able to put in 2 arched doors that open up to the study, which I absolutely love. We went with wild, abstract wallpaper. It was something that probably isn't expected. The other thing that I love is that the room is a great proportion with the fireplace, that if later on you wanted to add a formal dining room, it's easy to transition into another use in that room, which is fabulous for anyone else if she ever sells. There was no wasted space when we designed the room at the back of this house. It actually was the first time I've done backwards design. So we designed the floor plans and then actually went ahead and built the perimeter of the house. The kitchen backsplash is actually stained glass tile. It is all made by a stained glass artist and then cut into the patterns and then laid, much to the tile installer's chagrin, on a piece of literally tape. And they have to install the tile and then peel the tape off and hope that the stained glass doesn't come off with it. It is so thin, it is so difficult to install that they had to be somewhere where you could enjoy them every single day and really have them make the impact. My client absolutely loves color. So when my supplier for plumbing said, oh, and this faucet we can customize in whatever color you want. And that was it. She was off and running. She wanted blue so that it would work with the kitchen. We also knew it was a quiet moment that we could actually add a faucet and add a little touch of whimsy. When we don't have pantries that you can walk into or spaces that you can really commit to tons and tons of storage, one of the things that's important is elegant, smart storage. So we decided to line the wine cellar with 2 floor-to-ceiling pantries, which were accessible from the kitchen. No need to leave the room, no need to go somewhere else, but the pantry storage was all here, but divided into 2 slimmer towers, which allowed an amazing feature, which was our wine cellar. In this house, we do have what we call a butler's pantry. We actually have 2. We have what I would call an entertainment bar, which is for when you have guests over. And we have a beautiful reeded glass cabinetry that you can have your special glasses in there and lay them out so that it's a self-serve bar. We put beautiful tiles in it. We have an unbelievable hand-blown glass fixture by Tracy Glover in Oregon that actually anchors the space. And then, in case you do have caterers, we also have an additional kitchenette that is a room off of the entertainment bar where they could clean up and be with an extra dishwasher and sink without actually intruding into your guests and your event. It has these amazing deep green honeycomb tiles, which again, we fell in love with and said, we have to use these, where are we putting them? And then we went with high gloss lacquer white cabinets to give it a very sleek, very clean and modern feel, and it really is phenomenal. My client absolutely loves blue. It's her favorite color. In order to make it a little bit fun and again, a little bit of that touch of whimsy, we added the pink and we started with the pink piping just as a contrast, just kind of to be fun. It's actually an outdoor fabric on the couches, which you never would know, which is the perfect solution for a family. And then she does like to sit and read a lot. So we made these 2 big swivel chairs that are oversized where she can curl up and read a book. And we thought, why not add a pink stripe down the middle? Nobody else is ever going to do it, and it kind of thumbs our nose at the notion that everything has to be monochromatic and quiet and nothing can be bold. The light fixture in the family room is a Paul Ferrante, which is a plaster handmade light fixture, and I was hoping that we could build the entire room around this fixture. The fun part was when it actually arrived, because they called me ahead when they were shipping it and they said, "We hope you have a doorway that's 48 inches wide." And I said to them, "We live in Toronto. We don't have 48-inch wide doors." And they said, "Well, the crate that it comes in is 48 inches wide." So we had to bring it around the side, through the back, and thank goodness into the sliding doors. And that's how the chandelier entered the house. The other light fixture in this house that's really special to me is the light fixture hanging over the island behind me. It's made by Zach Ridgely of Toronto. It is the heaviest fixture. When we were doing the house, we actually had to reinforce the ceiling, of course. It took 6 men to carry the fixture in, and my electrician, who's 6'4", 240 pounds, was swinging from the rafters to make sure that it could actually hold the weight of the fixture. It's the first one that Zach ever made of this kind, and it's fabulous. It's all done with 4 different types of glass, and to me is the home run of light fixtures in this house. One of the things I find that's really important in a house is having a laundry room. If it doubles as a mud room, that's even better. The most important element for me in the laundry room is having tons of storage and the ability to hide everything away. So with 10-foot ceilings, we were able to incorporate more storage than a family would ever need, as well as a stackable washer dryer. And for that punch of whimsy, again, we went with green apple glass tiles. I love a powder room because it's often your entertaining bathroom. I like the fact that it is closed off, so you can take some risks that you might not take in the rest of the house. We fell in love with a fabric by Ferrick Mason, and I decided that we should put it on the walls in the water closet. My client didn't balk. She thought that was great. Why not have a touch of whimsy in the water closet? And I have always wanted to underlight pink onyx. We decided to take a risk and build the entire vanity of the powder room out of pink onyx, including the integrated sink, and have it light up, and it's all set on a sensor motion. And I don't know anybody who has used the powder room in this house that doesn't gasp when they first enter. The last piece we added is a handmade plaster mirror by Anthony Valin in Toronto, which is bossy and fabulous without being complicated. There are a lot of design elements going on. It couldn't be too noisy because of the onyx that sits below it, but I think the plaster mirror is its own statement. The master bedroom was something where my client really wanted something completely different. Again, we brought blue in. We wanted to try upholstering a wall. Upholstered her bed as well, and then had these beautiful night tables that were created that we had designed, and we introduced wood in order to mix up the elements again. That was important. One of the things that I think I like most though about her bedroom are the beautiful pendants that hang over each night table. And I designed the pendants to look like an uncut stone that was hanging from the ceiling. Zach Ridgely was amazing. He pulled the whole vision together, and now she has 2 spectacular drop pendants hanging over her night tables. Dressing areas for clients are always different. Everybody has a different wish list. Some like backlit rods, some like to have closets and look at none of their clothes. My client is very welcoming and warm and casual, and she was very clear she didn't want doors. So open concept was great, but we had to have a spectacular island and we needed to have a moment. The chandelier that hangs in there is actually her grandmother's dining room chandelier. It has vintage appeal, and being able to integrate it into her dressing room where she gets to see it every single day is so important in good design. To know that you've got everything that you need at your fingertips, be it drawers, be it hanging, be it a great shoe rack for your shoe collection. The master ensuite was a phenomenal evolution as well. It started with, yet again, the tile. The tile was something that was stained glass, again, in the shower. The dark blue with the shades that are running through it is all stained glass. It was an art in good math, getting the walls completely straight and then laying the tile to make sure it would be watertight, but also wouldn't have any bows in it whatsoever, as each piece in the herringbone is laid individually. It was a labor of love. as was making the tile for the floor mat that is in the main space of the ensuite. That was based on a clover design that I loved, and I asked the manufacturer to cut the blue glass as an outline around the clover of Thassos that marries back to the shower, and that it's completely original. The oak in the vanity is a nod back to natural materials again, not having painted finishes, having something that's a little bit more modern with the spectacular mirrors back set into the framework of the oak is so special. And then we had Zach Ridgely build us the white powder-coated lights that are on either side of the mirrors as well. So it really was a convection of having all of these artists pulled together and working to be able to make all of the elements equally special. The guest bedroom in this house really screams me. I keep threatening I'm going to show up and sleep in the guest bedroom because it's something that I would have loved to have created for myself. I absolutely love the oversized headboards and pattern on pattern. So being able to work with the Ferrick Mason fabric on the headboard as well as the wallpaper was just a home run for me. It's completely unexpected, but being able to do it in a guest room is a perfect opportunity because it's only for a short stay. It's a lot for most people. As a maximalist at heart, I love that bedroom. We added more pattern and color with the drapery, the little fun hit of yellow in the accent pillows, and then we also used another Ferrick Mason fabric for the bench at the end of the bed, which is a pillow top I love, not too formal, kind of fun, and it just adds that warmth to a guest room. In designing the girls' bedroom for a young woman, I didn't want it to read too juvenile. Pinks can be very tricky. They can go very bubblegum, very hot, very young, very quickly. Finding the right pink was really imperative. And we found a great cotton fabric for the drapery, and that really was our starting point, along with the great wallpaper, which I love, with the black and white and the words. The chair at the side in front of the window was perfect for curling up and reading, and we had Creators of Objects make that incredible pink lucite table that sits beside. I think the other thing that's really important to remember is to add a statement piece in your chandelier, and having the Kelly Wearstler chandelier there, the Strata, is, I think, really the icing on the cake for a really great room. The Jack and Jill bathroom that lies between the guest room and the daughter's room really was fun to do. It was one of the moments where we thought, have we gone overboard? Did we do too much? But also you can't have weakness in between two strong rooms, so it had to balance. We really loved the Kelly Wearstler tile that's on the floor. Her daughter was the one that was living and using the washroom the most. So we wanted it to feel feminine and soft and pretty. So the lavender was a great color to pick up with the gray. We'll call it lavender. It's a little deeper than a lavender, but we feel it really worked. We like the fact that it will always feel fresh. One of the things that I found most challenging about doing this house was making sure that I had a good balance between what I had wanted as a design aesthetic for my client and how she uses her space and how she feels happy in her home, and her balance of wanting to have something completely different than her previous home. I think my favorite part in all of this is that in each room there's color. It's not overly colorful, but it's enjoyable. It's light, it's airy, it's a happy house. And although I had to restrain myself frequently, it really turned out to be spectacular.